defibrillator is a life-saving equipment. When the heart is not beating normally, the defibrillator is used to deliver controlled electric shock to the heart. This shock can help restore the heart's normal rhythm in cases of sudden cardiac arrest. In countries like South Korea and the UK, defibrillators can be found in public places like pubs, markets, and crowded places. What about Ghana? The Ghana Harmonized Health Facility Assessment Report 2023 says only 5% of hospitals in Ghana have the required basic equipment in consulting rooms. We make our way to Ghana's oil city, Takoradi. The Effia Nkwanta Regional Hospital receives referrals from across the region. It is fair to say that it serves over 3 million population. Apart from cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, which involves chest compressions and rescue breaths, can the hospital save your life if you go into cardiac arrest?
I would say that we're doing the best that we can under the circumstances. At the A&E, where you are most likely to be taken to, we have just one defibrillator. But for a unit of that size, we should have more. So in your case, if you are the only one who needs the machine at that point in time, yes, we will be able to do it for you. But if there are many patients who need the same service, then it becomes a challenge.
Dr. Joseph Kojo-Tambil, the medical superintendent of the hospital, is passionate. He wants his medical staff to get the best equipment to serve patients. But he also wears another hat to manage the information he gives the media and also assure residents of the Western region and beyond that they can rely on his facility. With some hesitation, he admits that even the only available defibrillator has challenges and calls for resourcing of the hospital.
And the defibrillator doesn't work properly, like it function
with well. A few challenges, but with batteries and all that. But when called upon, it would function. But like I said, we need more of those machines rather than just one.
So we went to the Accident Emergency Center to find out how the facility handles cases of cardiac arrest.
We have one automated external defibrillator. It's faulty because the battery is irreplaceable. So the battery went down and we can't replace it. So now it's malfunctioning. So when we have, if our patient suddenly arrests, it's difficult for us to determine the rhythm so that we can apply the shock. We are not able to do that. This is a life-saving machine. You can have cardiac arrest at any point in time. When we are intervening, it's a must that we have an automated external defibrillator.
The only defibrillator, which is now 40, was even donated by foreign students who saw the need for the equipment in the emergency room. To make you understand the issue better, Regina Kweku, the unit head of the Accident and Emergency Center, shares a recent story.
We had this patient that was brought in with electrical shock. With that one, because of the external electrical current, it sends the rhythm to a different rhythm. So if we had this, we could have reversed, we could have shocked the patient to set the rhythm to the normal. But because we didn't have, we continued with our CPR, and when we were all exhausted, we had to call it.
For those who do not understand what the term "call it," it simply means they had pronounced the patient dead. How often do they call it?
So it does happen very often. Very often.
The search for a defibrillator at the Effia Nkwanta took me to the intensive care unit. Here, they provide critical care to patients. The unit also needs a defibrillator. Is there one here? Mavis Mills is a supervisor at the ICU.
We need, for now, we don't even have a defibrillator here. They brought one, but they said there was a problem with their battery. So they sent it, and for now we don't have a defibrillator.
So just like the Accident and Emergency Center, What do nurses do to save a patient who needs defibrillation?
For now, we can't do anything. What we can do is to give the CPR and advance to the drugs and other stuff. But when it gets to the part where we would have to shock, we don't have it. So it's a concern.
Enough of the defibrillator tool. Now let's focus on another important tool, a ventilator. A ventilator is a medical device that helps people breathe when they are unable to do so on their own. It plays a critical role in supporting patients' respiratory functions.
We need transport ventilators. As I already indicated, here is the regional emergency center. So they bring all sorts of trauma cases, surgical cases. And you need to put them on ventilator. You need to take the work of breathing from them.
Now that we know the importance of a ventilator, let's find out whether the Effia Nkwanta Emergency Center has one.
We don't have ventilators too at the emergency. So we do with our normal oxygen and cylinder. Sometimes we need to intubate the patient and put them on ventilators so that the ventilator will do the work of breathing for them. But we don't also have ventilators. It's part of the basic equipment that we need at the emergency.
So we go back to the intensive care unit to find out whether there is a ventilator.
We had problems. We realized we had technical problems with the ventilators. We couldn't use them. So we take cases in here where we didn't need ventilators. We went to school to learn to care for critically ill patients, and then you have the space and everything to work, but then small issues like ventilators and other equipment are a limitation to practicing what you've gone to learn. It's really a problem. This particular one was giving dry air instead of moist air.
Of what use is a ventilator in an ICU if it is not functional? The Accident Emergency Center lacks so many equipment like monitors, perfusers, and many more.
Like our patient monitors, this is a 33-bed capacity emergency, and we have only one patient monitor, which is not adequate for all the patients that we receive in. Sometimes we wish that we have more so that all our critical patients will be put on monitor so that we'll be able to monitor them well. But here is the case that we have only one, so we make do with the only one that we have.
Dr. Tambil believes if government retools them, they can provide the best care ever.
At the moment, I said that we would do with more defibrillator machines. We would do with cardiac monitors for patients who need critical monitoring. We will need a ventilator at least there, because at times when the doctors need to escalate the care to give the patient an opportunity to survive. The standards are that we should have at least one functional ventilator in the accident and emergency.
It is now obvious that finding a working ventilator and defibrillator at Effia Nkwanta seem akin to searching for a needle in a haystack. But the story is not all that gloomy. Government is building a new hospital complex. However, should government focus on completing the building before retooling the hospital? Or should the government provide tools now to save many lives?
If you are anywhere in the Western region, and when something happens to you, like an accident, or you have a heart attack, or some other condition, you are most likely to be brought to Effia Nkwanta. And if we are not in the best situation to be able to help you, the consequences can be dire. So we want to appeal to all of them to look at this place. Let's collaborate and see where they can put their money in to improve on the quality of services for Effia Nkwanta. And if they do so, it is for the entire citizenry of the Western region. and even beyond.
Clearly, the Effia Nkwanta Regional Hospital needs healing. Jojo Kopnam, Joy News.
Them get eyes, but them know they see. Them get heart, but them know they feel.